Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. Mishnah continues for Hey Elul. We are in the second parak of Maaser Sheni, Mishnah Ches. Haporet Sela Mimaut Maaser Sheni. Somebody who exchanges a Sela from the coins of Maaser Sheni. Meaning he's taking small copper coins and adding them up together to get to a Sela. Now, if these are actually little prutot, then he needs 768 prutot to get one Sela, which is a larger silver coin. Beit Shammai Omrim, Beit Shammai says, Kol Sela Maut, make the entire Sela from your prutot, from your little penny coins. In other words, take all of your little coins that have Maaser Sheni Kedusha. He was exchanging produce of Maaser Sheni for little copper coins, a little bit at a time, put them all together, and exchange them for one big silver coin that you can take to Yerushalayim, and you're not going to lose it. And copper coins are smaller and thinner and can get oxidized and have some losses there. So it's better to have one big silver coin. Beit Hillel Omrim, shekel kesef, shekel maut. Beit Hillel says you can take a shekel in silver and a shekel in your coins, meaning the original small copper coins. So you would say, on a practical note, you could leave some of it in small coins and put half of it, 384 of those small prutot, would make a shekel. So a shekel is half a sela. And this has a practical advantage because once he gets to Yerushalayim, if all he has is one large, expensive silver coin, and he wants to just stop and buy a donut or stop and buy falafel, hummus, something like that, he's going to have to make change first for his larger silver coin. So if he has some silver and some copper, it's easy to spend. You might have had the experience, you go to Eretz Yisrael and you change a bunch of money into 100 shekel bills. A 100 shekel bill, okay, it's not a ton of money, but if you don't have any change and someone comes and asks for tzedakah, you don't have a shekel to give them, you only have hundreds, then it's weird. It's hard to make change sometimes. So that's what Beit Hillel is saying on a practical level. Bring some small coins too. Bring some small bills also. Rabbi Meir Omer, Ein mechololin kesef upeirot ola kesef. Rabbi Meir says you cannot be mechalol, transfer the kedusha of money and produce onto money. Chachamim matirim. So what Rabbi Meir is saying is, if you had actual produce, you had some grain or something, an actual plants of Maaser Sheni, and you wanted to redeem that onto a silver coin to take to Yerushalayim, and you also had copper coins, you couldn't put them together onto one coin. But the sages allow it. Starts a kesef, the pasuk says, get it, not just the money, it's also the produce. You can bring things in money form. The Mishnah Tes has a similar issue brought up. Poret Sela shel Maaser Sheni b'Yerushalayim. He's making change from a Sela, from a large silver coin in Yerushalayim. So he brought a Sela to Yerushalayim. He wants to make change so he can go buy some falafel. Beit Shammai Omrim Kol Hasela Maut. Beit Shammai says, put the whole thing into Maut, into the little prutot, the little copper coins. Beit Hillel Omrim Shekel Kesef Shekel Maut. Similar to what we had in the last Mishnah. He says, listen, get half of it as a shekel, a silver shekel, and get the other half as little copper prutot to buy your falafels. Adanin Lifnei Chamim Omrim, those who judge before the sages say, B'shlosha dinarei kesef v'dinar maut. You could go ahead and get 3 dinarim. A dinar is a half a shekel of silver, and 1 dinar's worth of maut. So it'd come out, he's getting 192 prutots of copper and 3 dinarim, which is the same value of a sela. So 3/4 silver, 1/4 copper. These danin lifnei chamim actually refers to 4 specific people. And Farshim say Shimon ben Azai, Shimon ben Zoma, Hanan HaMitzri, and Hanania ben Chochinoi. Bartner says that these were genius level scholars, but they all passed away at a fairly young age before they were, these Zkanim and elders. So they were called those who judge before the other sages. Rabbi Kiva Omer Shlosha Dinarin Kesef Revit Maut. So Rabbi Kiva is a bit more limiting. He says get 3 dinarim of kesef, and then the 4th dinar, only 1/4 of that you can make into copper. Keep the rest of it as silver. Vitar from the mayor arba aspre kesef. You can take 4 asper worth in silver. That's 4/5 of a dinar. So you only get 1 asper of copper. So it's 1/20th of your sella. So it's like a smaller amount of copper coins. He doesn't want you running around with a bunch of little copper coins. As you mentioned, they're small, thin, they can get oxidized, worn out, and lost more easily. Shammai Omer, Yanichenu bechonut v'yochel kenegda. You can put your silver sella with the shopkeeper or the balabayas, the innkeeper who's supplying food, and it's on the tab because you've given a deposit, you've given a sella there, and you just keep eating, and it goes against your tab, and don't worry so much about your copper coins. Which implies, according to Shammai, the original Shammai, started Beis Shammai, you can't change it to copper. Worried about losing the coins with Kedushas Maaser Sheni, it could be an issue. So it's better to leave them with the shopkeeper who's providing the food and put it on the tab and not be making change and worrying about how much change and losing these little coins. Shkoyach Rabosai.